The month of November is a time for taking no prisoners and for granting no quarter.
How do you deal with the tantrum issues?
You have to start by realizing what a big deal that winning that battle is.
Sure.
They will start sinning is in challenging your authority. So what you have to do is make sure that you win. You just have to win. Everything we do this month will be focused on one singular goal. We want to help you apocalypse-proof your family.
One daughter who would always like sit there with food in her mouth until she felt like throwing up. Ooh. And so she started to puke up a hamburger. Started to tell this. I'm kind of sorry to tell the story, but she started to puke up a bite of hamburger. She managed to make herself gag. I successfully got my hand under her mouth, caught that bite, and then picked up her hamburger that she had just vomited on, took it to the sink, rinsed off the patty, and rinsed off the bite and set it back on her plate. I was like,
thank you, honey.
But I remember this was a turning point. He was just about on the edge of outgrowing his nap, so I put him down for his nap. He came out. It's like, no, you need to stay in bed, and if you get up again, there will be swats. So he gets up again. The swats happen.
And she knows how to deliver.
Well,
we used to talk about getting a holster made. But why should you listen to me about such things? I remember when I was a boy, and I remember where I was standing in the front yard when my father put his fist in my face. And my dad also, quoting him a lot, he calls little babies in their swaddling clothes, he calls them little bundles of sin. Like my parents taught me, a strong family isn't possible without quick, full, and honest confession of sin, without any wussy excuse making. And especially now, it's just as important not to confess and repent of things that aren't really sins, because lying is bad, and so is being a wuss.
Say your kids are squabbling. It's very easy to be like, that's their sin, that's their problem. It's not mine. So when you see your children in sin, you need to take responsibility for that. You need to say, Lord, this is my job, and I have dropped the ball because they are in sin.
then he got up again, and so swats. And then I put him back down. It's like, you need to stay in bed. Got up again. Swats. How many times?
4 or 5.
4 or 5 times. So each time I'm probably giving him maybe 5 swats. I may have moved up to 10 at the end. But I called Doug finally, and I said, so I put him back down. This has happened 4 or 5 times. What do you suggest I do next? Because I have to win. He said, I will be right home. I wasn't expecting that, nor was Nate. We won.
I've stitched together this Canon Press promo video for No Quarter November with some of the parenting clips I'll be talking about in the next couple weeks as we spotlight the parenting ideology coming out of Moscow via Doug and Nancy Wilson, as well as Canon Press. So we will be looking at a little bit of the history of Canon Press, a little bit of how it operates today, some recommended resources for further research, and some of the themes that are really recurrent in the parenting content they produce. And there is a lot of it.
Yo, the scenery is meeting me. While the blazing greenery speaks to me, I'm rendering my gold at Caesar's feet. And when the oak turned to serpents and wood turned to glory, I've been a blank page, needed a new story. I tried to take hold, but I was tired of losing. Heaven's blood on these hands, hell of a stain need removing. But the darkness is learning that these embers won't stop burning. Now I can see past the curtain, a strange testament for certain. Start a smile.